That is the hashtag that you have added. Let's go back to the NDC's base in the Ashanti region. Dr. Frank Amoakohene, Ashanti Regional Secretary of the party. Doc, you're welcome to Eyewitness News.
Thank you very much.
What did the organizer and Menchia do to incur the wrath of the police, for which reason he is a wanted man tonight?
Thank you very much. I mean, it is an exaggeration, and it can be likened to killing a fly with a sledgehammer. And this there's a purported action to divert the attention of Ghanaians from the hardship that is going on in the system. Because one, it takes two to tango, and it takes two to have a conversation. It was a conversation between an NDC person and an MPP person. They managed to get a video out there which has the MPP person's comments edited out of the video. And then now we declare an officer wanted without having to resort to the institution to produce the officer. So if you know you can find the person, then you should publish the person's name without associating him to the NDC. But if you want to associate him with the NDC, then you better come to the regional leadership that we have noticed or we have come across a video from an officer of the party, and the police would want to have a conversation with him. Then the regional leadership can produce the officer to you. But you have attached the NDC to the officer. You didn't come to the regional leadership and yet declared him wanted on social media. From my understanding, you only declare someone wanted if the person cannot be found or the person has gone into hiding. This is an officer that you, the police, you know, and he is a tailor to most of the policemen. And it's not as though he is even a stranger or someone they don't know. So I think that the declaration of the gentleman as a wanted person was misplaced, and that he is not someone who is in hiding. And today, after our encounter with the police, we made them aware that he is available, and we make him available to the police tomorrow.
Now, you said that the comments have been doctored so that one person's speech is removed and then one other person's speech is left in there. What were the two of them talking about, by the way?
Yeah, so they were talking about 2024 elections, and the MPP person was threatening that under no circumstance would they allow John Mahama to win the election, and that if John Mahama wins the election, they will still not hand over power to him, and that they will do all they can possible to rig the election. Anyone who threatens our democracy definitely threatens our peace, and definitely is someone who does not want the peace of Ghana. So it was as a result of that conversation that the officer was equally serving notice to them that anyone who threatens our democracy definitely is preaching for war and is preaching for chaos. Okay, so we are equally interested in the police investigating the plans of the MPP to rig the elections as altered by the NPP official. We are equally interested in the plans of the MPP and as to why they keep repeating that they are not going to hand over power to John Mahama even if he wins the 2024 elections. Because all these will happen if they rig the election. And all this will happen if we don't intervene now and make sure our democracy is protected come 2024, December 7th. So that is the whole genesis of the conversation. That the part of the MPP official threatening our democracy has been altered, edited out of the video. And it is only the response of the NDC official that has been put on the social media.
Was this a media debate the two of them were engaged in? And who is this person that your officer was engaging?
No, it wasn't a media debate. It was a debate within the community. Okay, so they were gathered under a tree. And there was a debate between him and an MPP officer. We would address the press tomorrow after we are done with the police. We bring out all the facts and the person they were having the exchange with. So it was not even a media conversation.
But do you have the original video?
Yes, so we have the details of everything that happened. And if you even watch the video, you realize that there were people who were equally part of the conversation. So we are equally interested. If the police wants to investigate, we need to invite every single person who was part of the conversation so we can probe to the end of it. That what are the plans of the MPP that They are so certain that even if John Mahama wins, they are not going to hand over to him. But it's a point of interest for us as well. So tomorrow when we get to the police headquarters, depending on the conversation, all these issues will come up.
No problem. So tomorrow you'll be escorting him to the police station. There's a possibility he may be arrested. You're ready for all of that, the legal issues involved?
Absolutely so. Absolutely so. We are going with our lawyers and we are ready for whichever legal tussle. If we need to make a counter complaint for them to arrest the MPP official, we will do same. If we need to go and embark on a civil arrest and bring the official to the police, we will do that. We are ready for them tomorrow.
Now, notwithstanding the fact that another person's voice had been doctored out, was it not a reckless comment that your officer was making, talking about killing? Is that a responsible commentary that should be made by an elected officer of a party that has been in government before? And are you supporting those comments that he made?
So you see, everyone is innocent until proven otherwise by a court of competent jurisdiction. Let alone.
But you can be innocent. How can you be innocent if the audio is out there and you are engaging in recklessness?
No. Even if the audio is out there and there's a full audio without even an edit, the person is still innocent. That is the position of our law. The person is still innocent until a court of competent jurisdiction, and that is what our laws and that is what our constitution says, proves otherwise. Okay. So we cannot be prejudicial in this matter. And especially when I am telling you that from our investigation and our checks and our interaction with the officer, he was only serving notice to the MPP official that anyone who rigs the 2024 election is only preparing a platform for blah, 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 blah. So it was a response to the utterances of the MPP official. So we can't be prejudicial and we can't be condemning someone without giving the person a fair hearing and without a court of competent jurisdiction saying otherwise.
Does your party in the region endorse violence, including killing?
We are not talking about violence. We are talking about being prejudicial and judging someone wrongly without a court giving him a fair hearing. We as a party are ready to support anyone who is ready to help us protect the ballots in 2024. That is what we support.
If it means killing, to do so.
If it means killing, we have not talked about killing here. We are talking about protecting the ballots and protecting the verdict of the people and protecting the verdict come 2024. And no one has mentioned killing in this conversation.
But your officer whose head on the tape has mentioned killing. So I'm asking if the protection of the ballots extends to death. Is that what you are sanctioning your officers to do?
And I'm saying that put the comments of the officer in context. And I've given you the context and the background behind all this.
Yes, and at the end of the day, the context...
Just like the all die be die. The president said die, meaning death, killing, murder. The president of the Republic now said all die be die. Kill, murder, they are all dead. But he put it in a context and justified it. And the media, you help him to justify it. And we are saying that the notice as served by our officer was in reaction to the fact that he who rigs 2024 elections sets a platform for chaos. And that we need to, as a people, unite and ensure that no one rigs the 2024 election. I think that should be our interest and our focus as a people.
Doc, how is the NDC doing in Ashanti region?
Fantastically well. And that is why there is a panic in the MPP. Because for the very first time, we realized our 24-hour economy work, the people coming out and the disappointment on the supporters of the MPP, Alan Shamantin coming in and all that. So they are panicking in Ashanti region, for which reason they want to hang on to any strain whatsoever that they will find to make a case out of it.
The last time, the last election, I think 2016, your target as a party then was to get 1 million votes from Ashanti. Have you revised that figure?
As a party, we have a baseline that we need to cross to ensure our victory come 2024. And the elections in Ghana is 50 plus 1 vote. So our target is not really in the nominal vote, it's really in the percentage. So our work as a party and as leadership is towards a percentage. Said that even if 10 people vote, we should be able to get the percentage that will secure the victory of John Mahama. So, moving into this election, we are not really dealing with the nominal vote. We are looking at the percentage that will give us the 50 plus 1%.
It's the nominal figures that would give you the percentage. So what percentage of the votes in Ashanti are you expecting or hoping to bag for the NDC?
That is correct. But I mean, the nominal figures will give you the percentage, but it depends on the turnout. It depends on the people on the registered voter.
Doc, you were bold 7 or 8 years ago. You said you needed 1 million votes. You appear to not be sure now. You are scared, are you not? You can't make a bold statement.
We definitely are not. It is only a fool who does not revise his notes and renew his mind. We are ready to keep our target to ourselves and work at it and discard the outcome, rather than putting it out like we did in 2016, which gave us problems. The 2016 strategy did not give us the results we wanted. So definitely, you don't expect me as a new CEO of the party at the region to be following the footsteps of what happened in 2016. Definitely, we are moving into a new election. This election demands different strategy, and that strategy requires that we keep the percentage to ourselves and work at it and discuss the outcome of it, rather than discuss the target.
In the hunt for a running mate for Dr. Bawumia, lots of MPP people are suggesting the running mate should come from Ashanti region so that the party would get votes from there. That appears to be the place you get the least votes. In your hunt for a running mate as NDC, are you considering a candidate from Ashanti region?
Okay, so Ashanti plays a dual role in our politics. It is the stronghold for the MPP, but the second stronghold region for NDC in terms of the presidential vote. So it is a very crucial region for us as well. Okay, but what we are looking at is that we are not too fixated on who becomes the running mate in terms of the region or in terms of the gender or in terms of what have you. We are looking at someone who will be able to first complement His Excellency John Mahama, and the second, to be able to have that record, that track record to speak to issues boldly and be able to attract the middle class, the youth among the taming Ghanaians to help us get the votes we need to win this election. So we are not really fixated. His Excellency John Dramani Mahama has been given the opportunity to do the selection, and I'm sure he's doing a lot of consultations. And we are ready that whoever he brings on board as his running mate, we would help him and help the person in order that we'll be able to secure the victory that we are looking for.
But you are not fixated. MPP seems to be fixated. If they go with a running mate from Ashanti, it's a done deal for them, they say, and you would lose the votes that you got the last time in Ashanti and possibly even lose your parliamentary seats that you have, the 4 of them.
That is not the case. I mean, the politics in Ghana is bread and butter. And people will look at, Kufo said it, look at your pocket or look within your purse and vote. Right now, we're looking at the hunger we are going through to vote. So irrespective of whoever the MPP brings, people will still look at their economic situation and vote. This election will definitely be about the economy and jobs. So until the MPP is able to drastically do any magic in these 2 areas, nothing is saving them, not the issue of where their running mate is coming from. I mean, the running mate is just in to complement the candidate. So if the candidate is weak, I mean, the mate will never be able to do anything. So we are not really thinking, and I mean, in all our permutation and our strategic table, considering that an Ashanti running mate for Bawumia is going to weaken us further in Ashanti region. Of course not. Okay, so for us, we are not worried. And if you look at their permutation, I mean, Bawumia from the north, they have no option than to pick a running mate from Ashanti. And it is clear. And we have been prepared, I mean, from the word go, that no matter what, Bawumia will pick from Ashanti. So do your work well, such that irrespective of whoever they pick, we will still be able to win and win convincingly. So that is what we are prepared for as a party in the region.
I just heard you say that the running mates wouldn't be that significant. You didn't use that word, but you also said that as a mate, there really isn't much that he can do. What that means is that you have endorsed Dr. Bawumia's comments last week or so that he was just a mate and not the driver, so you can't blame him for anything that happened to the government, doesn't it?
There's a difference between politicking and governing. Okay?
You just said the running mate is inconsequential, didn't you? It won't make much of a difference.
We are looking at winning the election. Winning the election is different from governance. Okay? When you win the election, you can win the election but not prepared for governance. Okay? So winning the election, the people you bring on board, even the campaign manager and everyone you bring on board, is to help you win the elections. Okay, someone will choose someone who will help him win the election. But at the end of the day, when it comes to governance, the person will be close to zero. So the conversation we are having here should be in context of who is going to help them win the elections. When it comes to governance, it's a whole different ball game altogether. Because in governance, even the finance minister matters. That is why when there is a need to call for the government to reshuffle, we don't call the government to resign. We call the government to reshuffle a finance minister or an education minister. So the context of the role of a running mate and the role of a vice president is different. We are talking about politicking and elections. Okay, what Baumia said is in the context of governance, which is absolutely different from the conversation that we're having.
Very well. Thank you so much for speaking to us, Doc.
Thank you too, my brother.
That's Dr. Frank Amoakohene. He's Ashanti Regional Secretary of the NDC. This is Eyewitness News on 97.3 City FM. Akosia.